In our last video, we defined a command to get data from RTC and update attributes in Focal Point using a REST synchronized command. So I'm going to do things a little fancier this time, and we're going to try and push some data attributes from Focal Point into Rational Requirements Composer. And I know it's now Rational Doors Next Generation. I haven't upgraded to the latest version, so you'll see it on RRC. This is a little more complicated because of some of the things that RRC and RDNG do in terms of how they represent internal properties. So this is going to be a little more fun. So let's see. I'm looking right now at the one project area that I have. I have several, and the set of collections that I have. And what I've done is I have defined a couple of custom properties because I wanted to see what those show you how that would work. And if I just take a look here, so we can see for this collection the custom attributes that I've added here are due date and some tags that I'm going to populate from Focal Point. And you can see also that I've given them a couple of values, and you'll see why I have gone ahead and set those values when we go to figure out what those attributes are. So let's go take a look now at how we're going to set those attributes. So here we are in the My Business Needs Planning view of Focal Point, and I have here a link to the requirement collection we were just looking at, and I'm going to look at the rich hover and do my best to copy the link location so I can use that URL when I define my REST view command. So let's go and start working on that. We'll add a view command. To select the view, I'm going to use the My Business Needs Planning again. As I mentioned before, it's a good idea to do this before you have too many views to scroll through. Okay, we'll push due date and tags to collection. Going to be a REST put command because I'm taking values from Focal Point and putting them into Rational Requirements Composer. And again, that's RDNG now, but I'm going to select the attribute I'm using to locate the collection, which is this requirement collection integration link attribute. And it's read-only in this view, but that's okay because we're not setting it. And here I'm going to put the URL that we just copied to the specific resource. We say to use the template XML for the put call. And if I click this now, actually you'll see I get an error. So you'll remember before I said we have to add those headers first. Accept application /RDF plus XML content type application /RDF plus XML and OSLC core version. That, and now this should work. Yay, it does. Okay, let's select the root path here. Let's go with the basics and look for the artifacts. So here I'm going to put the desired delivery date, and let's see. Due. There's nothing for due. Fancy. Let me see for tags. Nothing for tags. So the thing is that Requirements Composer, RDNG, they assign the properties these interesting string values. And now we need to discover which ones are which. So fortunately, we did specify values. So, 2013-7/15, I believe that's the due date. And I did give a tag, if you recall. Mobile, there it is. There's the tag. So now I know which properties I want. So the due date was this one, right? No. I'll map those. And for tags, let's see. There's the tags. And here we said I had tagged it as mobile. There it is right there. That one. Okay, I'm just going to do those two. And all of this should be fine. I'm not going to schedule it. I'm going to run it manually. So we'll save this command. Okay. All right, so now if I go back to my business needs planning, okay, so I'm going to a different business need this time. And I'm going to just take a look, and I can see that there's no values in the collection for this particular business need. You remember I had them in the other one, so that wouldn't really be a fair test. And what I'm going to do now is test my command. So I'm going to push the tags and the due date. Click go. See what happens. Oh, it failed. All right, well let's go figure out what caused it to fail. So I'm seeing there's an error with the format of the content. So I'm going to take you through the debugging here just because I think this can be useful. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, well, maybe I shouldn't use the template. Let's try that. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to try it again. I wanted to make the point here too that some of this really is trial and error, and sometimes the best thing to do is just give it a shot, see what happens. Okay, well this time it says it worked. All right, well let's take a look then. Let's open. Actually, I guess we can just hover. Well, if I hover, I still don't see any values. So it may have claimed to have worked. It was successful in sending the message and got some kind of confirmation back, but in fact, those fields weren't updated. So we're going to need to try something else. So let's go back to Focal Point, and I remember something that I've seen in other view commands that developers put together for me, and I'm just going to give that a try. So I'm going to put an at RDF about in here. And see if this is going to make any difference for us. Make sure that's okay. Let's save this. Let's go back and give it another try. See what happens. Well, it says it updated again. Let's see if it actually worked. Oh, doesn't look like it anyways. To refresh to make sure. Nope, values aren't there. All right, let's see what else we can look at. Okay, since that didn't work, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here because I know that with the help of development, I was able to create one previously that did work. You can see I'm doing pretty much the same thing, but look at what I've got for the route X path. So let's see about making that the route X path for our new command. So I'm going to copy that in there. And this is going to be set to null now because I've changed the prefix. So now the prefixes are gone from here. All right, so let's set this up again. Tags. And once again, sadly, I need to look for the specific one that is the one that we need. I think it was this one actually. Yes, there we go. So we'll mount those. And then the date. And it was this one. Not those. And we'll close and we'll save this. And now we'll see if it works. So we'll run the command once again. claims to have worked. And let's see. Hey! I see a due date and I see tags. So we're good. It finally worked. And that's how you define a command to RRC and go through a little bit of debugging. Now, I admit I did have a leg up because I had a development contact to help me with that, with the prefixes. If you are more knowledgeable in XPath than I am, you can probably figure that part out by yourself. And so now we've defined a put command to update artifacts in Requirements Composer or RDNG from Focal Point. And as you can imagine, the steps to do something similar to Rational Team Concert are pretty much the same. Thanks very much for your time.